Okay, so today we're still going to continue with inequalities in their graphs. Please don't be confused about these greater than, less than, of if it's this way. Remember, these are whether it's written from left to right. So if it's from left to right and you see this, it would be less than. But however, what we talked about the other day, if I have the variable on the other side, so x, this, and maybe 14, we can read this as x is less than 14, even though this says it's greater than. So don't be confused on that. Be able to read the variable first and just know that, again, it points to the smaller number and opens to the bigger number. Okay, so solutions to an inequality. One thing with inequalities is there's going to be infinite amount of solutions that work and infinite amount of solutions that don't work. So for this section, we're going to talk about whether it makes it true or not. So it's a lot of substitution practice. So for example 1, does 9 make this inequality true? So these are basically yes or no questions. So if I substitute 9 in for x, is 9, and then I replace that, is 9 less than or equal to 7? And it doesn't mean it has to be less than or equal to. It's not one or it's not both. It's if it's equal, it's true, and or if it's less than, it's true. So is 9 less than or equal to 7? The answer would be no. If it was 7, it would be true because 7 is equal to, or if it was anything less than 7, meaning 6, 5, 4, 3, then it would be true. All right, so on number 2, the same idea. So if I have -1 for x, if I write that in, and I'm writing in the exact same problem, is -1 less than or equal to 7? Yes, it falls into that category of being less than 7, so that would be true. Yes, it is. All right, and then over here, we have 14 over 2. Well, if I simplify 14 over 2, that comes out to equal 7. So is 7 less than or equal to 7? That does check out. It's not less than, but it is equal to, so it falls under that category of being true. So yes. It's if this were the same problem, but did not have that or equal to sign underneath, then the answer would be no, that would not be true. But since it is, we are good to go there. All right, so this section deals with a lot of just substitution. Put it in, see if it comes out true. All right, so the next level type question is 3, if I put 3 into this problem, going to be a solution to that answer? So we need to actually go back in and substitute it just like we did before. So 2 minus 5 and then parentheses 3. So we have to determine whether this is going to be greater than 13. So just like we would do before, I want you guys to use your calculators. So we are going to substitute 3 in for that. So I'm going to put 2 minus 5 parentheses 3. And now that I have that in there, I can put any number in there for that value of x to be able to figure out what it is. So when I put this in for 3, I have -13 is greater than 13. Is -13 greater than 13? No, it's not, so the answer to that would be no. All right, so again, using the same problem up here, the same inequality up here, now I'm going to put in -4 for x. So you don't have to write this down, but if you already have this up, you can just substitute that 3 for the -4, but essentially what we're doing is 2 minus 5 parentheses -4. And how does that compare to 13? Is that going to be greater than 13? We don't know yet. So I'm going to go in, and instead of the 3, if you're using this calculator, just type in -4, and you get 22. So this is 22. Greater than 13. Is 22 greater than 13? Yes, it is. All right, so again, you're just substituting it in to see if it makes sense, to see if it's true. All right, and then the final set of problems is we have an inequality, but we have variables on both sides. So what I can do is then substitute that in for both of them. So the 5 goes in for the x here, so in this I will write 4 parentheses 5 plus 5 is less than, because it's pointing to that side, 2 parentheses 5 plus 3. So now I just have to type these into your calculator or do the mental math. I'll type it in the calculator here. So 4 parentheses 5 would be 20, and then we're adding 5 to that, which would be 25. So is 25 less than whatever we have coming out here? So now 2 times 5 is 10 plus 3 would be 13. Again, use your calculator if you need it. Is 25 less than 13? The answer to that is, of course, no. 25 is greater than 13. So that does not work for that, does not make it true. And then we come over to this problem. All right, so let's substitute the numbers in. So 4 parentheses negative 5 now plus 5. And then is that going to be less than, because again, same problems, same problem set. 2 parentheses negative 5, because it's the same x, plus 3. And again, use your calculators on this just because now we're dealing with negative numbers, just to make sure we are getting the accurate information. So 4 parentheses negative 5, because that's 4 times negative 5. It's going to give us negative 20. We're going to add 5 to that. That gives us negative 15. And then we have to do the other side. So we have 2 parentheses negative 5, and then plus 3. And that gives us negative 7. Is negative 15 less than negative 7? Well, with negative numbers, yes, the bigger the negative number, the smaller it is. So this would be yes, it does check out. All right? So for all of this section, all we're doing is determining whether numbers make the solution true. So for these, all you have to do is plug the number in and see if it comes out true based on the way that we read it. Now we always read the variable first, x is less than or equal to negative 7, but when we substitute them in, you can read them either way because there's no variable. So whatever way makes sense. Left to right, right to left. 9 is less than or equal to 7. 7 is greater than or equal to 9. No. Right? Negative 1, less than or equal to 7. 7 greater than or equal to negative 1. Yes. So you get the point there. All right? So this section is all about substitution and finding out whether a number makes the inequality true.